Hello my skulls, what's going on? It's or SkullHQ here, and today we have the NECA Godzilla vs. Destroyer Burning Godzilla figure, and yeah, it is looking pretty sweet. So here we have the back of the box, we have the Burning Godzilla and all of his giant glory. We have NECA, WB, trademark of Toho, blah blah blah. We have Godzilla 1954 there, ages 14 and up, warning choking hazard, not for children under 3 years. This is discontinued now, but you can still buy it on places like eBay and Amazon. I found mine for actually pretty cheap. A lot of them were selling for $50 to $60, and I was able to find mine for $40, thanks to this guy named Steve at agentoys.com. And then, yeah, there's a lot of vinyls and books and toys. And then a little picture of, I guess, his collection or stuff that he's selling right now. And I want to thank that guy, first of all, for getting this out to me very quickly. And for a relatively low price. So for now, let's unbox this. Not that I know the best way of doing so. Probably is going to be like this. Alright. So there's the paper. And here we have Godzilla in his clamshell packaging, as per usual. So we're gonna untwisty tie this, untwisty tie his leg, untwisty tie his tail, so the tail here has a wire in it. You can tell because of those little dots there. So prime for posing this part of the tail. And it just goes on by pushing it on like this, hopefully. Not much to it, it blends in pretty well. It twists there. So let's see. So let's stamp. That's going to be a head issue, I bet. So this is a brand new figure. Even though it is discontinued, this is a brand new, as you could tell, it was in the package figure. And it does actually have the same issue that another NECA figure had, which is this neck piece having some serious issues staying connected, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem, hopefully. Ever wanted to see a Godzilla that looks stupider than all of the Showa series? After a brief interruption, I have looked at this Godzilla figure some more, and I have things to talk about. And definitely one of those issues is the head. So similar to the one of the other Godzilla figures from the 90s that NECA has made, they have the same head issue. So their heads, if you move them a lot, like to come off the ball. This one, not as much. Is it still an issue? Absolutely. This one, I have dipped in hot water and then cold water. I have done the you know, heat method, but it is very touchy. And I think it's part to do with the ball joint and the neck section here. Combination doesn't work very well, and this rubber is very malleable, so it likes to move a lot. So, sure, you can get it in a spot. You can move it. You have to keep pressing down, though. If you move it lightly, it just comes off. Similar issue going on with this figure. It doesn't really snap on. You can move it, yeah. Move it lightly. Not really putting that much pressure. Comes off. Very hard to deal with issue. Especially if you're one for posing your Godzilla figures. You're going to have to push it on and basically leave the head. For kids, there's not much of a playing with this one. It's gonna fall. The head's gonna fall off every time. You're gonna have a bunch of headless Godzillas. So let's look at this figure, though. So we have a translucent orange for a lot of the body, except for the tail and the bottom of the legs, bottom of the arms, and the head. The rest of it is molded in a plastic, I believe with paint over it. You can see kind of the fading there. It looks very cool. It definitely catches the eye with the dorsal plates being a different color, but then it kind of changes there, which is a little not good. But you have some orange carrying over a little bit on some of those. There is, you know, so the paint apps, you know, they're pretty good. We've got some issues there with it being yellow instead of orange. But the paint apps, all things considered, are pretty good. There's just some issues of this is obviously taken from this Godzilla figure and just placed onto a translucent body. So some of it's out of place. There's some slight issues up here too with dorsal plate colors. The head doesn't match, the head falls off. The paint apps, though, and like the eyes look great. In the mouth, amazing. Fantastic work from NECA's part. The nails look really good. They look really good. But, you know, it just doesn't match up. So for that, I would say it's a solid 7 out of 10 in terms of paint apps. Whereas this one, the paint apps were very cool. It doesn't exactly carry over when you're supposed to have different colors. Articulation, let's see, we can sort of kick, but it's like this rounded kick. But it can do a full 360. It's on a ball joint. That means you can also get a little bit of leg spread, but because of the mold, it doesn't really spread very much. We have knee articulation there, and since I'm talking about articulation, one knee bends way, way better than the other, and that's because the skeleton on the inside is different from one leg to the other. I don't know if that's just a defect mine has, or if it was meant to be that way, but they are not the same. They do not bend the same on each leg, so be careful with that if you're worried about articulation on the legs. So then we have a swivel up at the foot and a little bit of ankle pivot. On the arms here we have a joint at the shoulder. I believe it's a ball joint. Then we have a bicep swivel joint right there. Then we have a elbow swivel and that one. And then we have wrist articulation on a ball joint, and then we have some finger articulation. All of them at once, same for both arms. Then on the head, obviously we have great articulation up here. We can twist side to side from the neck. The head by itself, well, should be able to twist side to side, like so. And then it can lean up and lean down by the neck, and then look up and look down at the head. Then we have mouth articulation on a hinge there. But again, we still have that head issue. Then at the tail, we have a good old swivel here, ball joint here. What looks like should be a joint is not a joint. Then we have a ball joint here where the wire tail connects into the rest of Godzilla. So what this allows you to do is get some more dynamic poses out of the tail. You can bend it straight up, you can bend it back. By the way, the end's about there, by the way. End's right there. It can, you can bend it down, you can twist it sideways if that's your thing. Whatever you want, Godzilla will do. And then this just hooks up via ball joint, and actually looks pretty good with the rest of the tail. Not that it matches the body, but it does tend to, as you saw, if you move it too much, pop off. So I'd recommend actually taking it off and then posing it yourself. You can get some really nice dynamic poses out of it, something like that, or you can do the classic bend up and out. You have a lot of options there, and then you just obviously plug it back in to the tail, and you're done. And there goes the head. So you're probably wondering what I really think of this Godzilla in the end. And I would say that for consumers, it's iffy. Do you want to risk having a head that is going to fall off? That's up to you. Do you care about the gaps underneath the thighs? Up to you. Do you think that this is excusable? Up to you. Now, for collectors like myself who wants to collect the mainline, not the special edition gaming or the 24-inch head-to-tail 2014 Godzilla, just the other NECA figures. If you're a fan of those, I would say absolutely get it, because this guy is probably a 7.5 out of 10, maybe a 7 compared to a good old 9 or so over here, something similar to that. Because the articulation, besides the head issue, is still really good, and the poses you can get are hilarious, and it's a very eye-catching piece. Definitely something you can talk about with friends or family or guests or Godzilla enthusiasts or figure enthusiasts. You have plenty of options, and I would definitely say this is a good thing to pick up. And that's really about it. So go ahead and like the video if you liked it. Favorite videos, share the video, subscribe for more. And I'll see you all later. Take care.